welcome back to our channel High Point. I hope all of you are following my video and you have subscribed to my channel, and thank you for all the support that you have given so far. So in this video, like I said in the previous video, the previous video was about Edmund Spenser. So Prothalamion, I have already promised you that we will be having a separate video about Prothalamion. So Prothalamion is a wonderful poem. It's a marriage song by Edmund Spenser. Edmund Spenser belongs to the Elizabethan age that we all know, and he has written a tremendous work, a marriage song known as Prothalamion in the year 1596. And we have seen some details related to Prothalamion in the previous video, and this is going to be a little bit lengthy video because I'll be reading the poem line by line and also explaining each line and word and important meanings of words, and we'll be having discussion of that sort. So this is going to be a very a kind of lengthy video, so don't skip the video because I don't think that there is an MA syllabus without Prothalamion by Edmund Spenser. If you are learning the literature of Elizabethan age, then Prothalamion is a must learn thing because Prothalamion has many influence too, because we can see one of the lines in this poem is repeated and taken by T.S. Eliot in Wasteland. So it got many influences in the coming era as well. So it also shows the poetic quality of Edmund Spenser, as well as this is a kind of very, it's not that lengthy, but still it got 10 stanzas. Each stanza has 18 lines, and it is very profound in its meanings as well. And Edmund Spenser, he is English Virgil, we all know that. So he is known as English Virgil, and we can also know his poetic quality and talent through learning Prothalamion. So let's begin without wasting time. Let's begin. So Prothalamion, like I said, uh, it was published or written in the year 1596, and you can see what is. So this is Edmund Spenser. Edmund Spenser has written Prothalamion and published it in the year 1596, and yeah, let's see some very short introduction about Prothalamion. Prothalamion is a marriage song written in honor of the marriage at Essex House of Lady Elizabeth and Lady Catherine Somerset, daughter of Edward Somerset, with Henry Guilford and Master William Peter, respectively. So basically, this is a marriage song which is written not for himself. Edmund Spenser has written another kind of marriage song as a gift to his fiancée, that is Epithalamion. But Prothalamion is a marriage song written in honor of another two couples' marriage who were there, Lady Catherine Somerset and Lady Elizabeth. And Lady Elizabeth will be married by Henry Guilford, and Lady Catherine Somerset was married by Elizabeth William Peter, respectively. So their marriage is going to happen, and in honor of that marriages, he composed Edmund Spenser composed this poem. So please do remember at least these two ladies' names, because about these two ladies and their beauty, he is telling all these things about. And the poem consists of, like I said, 10 stanzas, and each stanza consists of 18 lines, and 18th line of each stanza is repeated as sweet themes run softly till I end my song. So that means the 18th line of each stanza, each 10 stanzas, it is repeated. The 18th line is repeated as sweet themes run softly till I end my song. So this line is also we can see in Wasteland, which is a modern epic by T.S. Eliot. When we learn that, when we learn modern era, of course, we will learn Wasteland in detail. So, during that time, we will see more of it about this illusion and all. And so the 18th lines is repeated in every other stanza. That means that the poem got a refrain. So such repeated lines are known as refrains. So this 18th line is a refrain in this poem. Sweet themes run softly till I end my song. Learn this line exactly, because if a question asked about this refrain, this can be, phrased in multiple ways. So you will get confused if you don't know the line correctly. Okay. Now, T.S. Coleridge praised it for the swan-like movement of the verse. So, swan-like movement means swans will be moving very slow and smooth, right? Without any, without any friction and also like that Coleridge observed and praised Prothalamion, this poetry, for its swan-like movement. And swan is a image that Edmund Spenser brings here, or Edmund Spenser brought in this poetry in order to enhance the beauty of these two ladies, Lady Elizabeth and Lady Catherine Somerset. So, Coleridge also praised this poem for its swan-like movement. So, who praised Prothalamion for its swan-like movement? So, it was S.T. Coleridge. S.T. Coleridge means Samuel Taylor Coleridge. He belongs to the Romantic age of English literature, and he belongs to the first generation of English Romantic poets. And David is another critic, and he praised it for its tapestry quality and heraldic tone. Okay, tapestry quality means it's fine, defined quality. So how is a tapestry? Tapestry will be fine, defined, and very you know it will be very delicate, and it will be very precisely arranged and decorated and weaved. So such kind of quality and heraldic tone. So he mainly observed, David Dages mainly observed and praised Prothalamion for its tapestry quality and heraldic tone. And many more details are there about Edmund Spenser also. You can check the previous video, and you can go through that for it. And of course, I have given a detailed analysis in my website to www.highpoint.in. There you can have a detailed analysis of Prothalamion as well as other compositions by Edmund Spenser too. So you can go and check on that if you want. And there you will find 900 plus audio lectures and also 300 plus PDF notes and also practice and previous question papers. So quickly you can just type Google, or in the Chrome you can type www.highpoint.in, and easily you can reach out to my website and check. And also you can join a WhatsApp group. The link is there in the description box. There you will get daily quizzes and news and updates and study materials related to NTA, UGC, NET, English language and literature. So those who are interested, if you are a BA student or MA student, or you are a teacher, or you want to learn about, you want to know about more about literature, you are welcome to my website as well as my WhatsApp group, our family. And also if you want any kind of help regarding NTA, UGC, NET, English and generally about literature, then you don't know how to learn, where to start learning and what to learn, what are the strategies of learning, so obviously you can also WhatsApp me in the given number in the screen that you can see in the screen. And also you can WhatsApp me, call me, or whatever ways you want to adopt, you can do that. Now let's begin without wasting time. Okay, stanza 1. I'll be reading each line and explaining as far as I can. So don't skip the video, because that won't give you any help to know this poetry. This is going to be a little lengthy, but that worth it, because this is such a important poetry in English literature as such. Okay, so stanza first. Calm was the day, and through the trembling air, sweet breathing Zephyrus did softly play, a gentle spirit that lightly did delay. Hot Titan's beams, which then did glister fair, when I whose sullen care, through discontent of my long fruitless stay in princess's court, and expectations vain of idle hopes, which still do fly away like empty shadows, did afflict my brain. So this is the first session or first half of first stanza of Prothalamion. So before beginning, let me tell you what is the meaning of the title. Okay, what is the meaning of the word Prothalamion? Prothalamion means song preceding nuptials. Nuptials means marriages. So the song that he is singing before marriage. Okay, before these two marriages happening between these two couples that I have mentioned earlier. So Prothalamion means nothing but song preceding nuptials. Okay, clear. So I have seen a question regarding the title's name. Okay, so Prothalamion, what is the meaning of Prothalamion? So it's song preceding nuptials. Nuptials means marriage. Okay. So calm was the day, and through the trembling air, sweet breathing Zephyrus did softly play, a general spirit that lightly did delay hot Titan's beams, which then did glister fair. So let's see these four lines meaning. So calm was the day. Means what? The day was so calm. It was not at all a hustle bustle. No hustle bustle was there. Nothing was there. It was, it was so sweet, and it was, the day was so calm, and it gives a peaceful atmosphere. The day is peaceful, and no turbulence we can see in the day, and through the trembling air, sweet breathing Zephyrus did softly play. So he is actually referring the air as trembling. Trembling means it is not like shivering air and all, but it simply indicates that there is a movement in the air, very gentle movement in the air. What causes this movement? Who creates this movement? It was Zephyrus. Zephyrus means, Zephyrus is nothing but, it is a name given to, the west wind. Okay, it's a breeze. So the sweet breathing Zephyrus did softly play means there is a sweet breath, there is a gentle, there is a, a sweet movement, a very soft and easy movement in the air that is going on because of Zephyrus. Zephyrus is name given to the west wind. Okay, so the air is simply shaking very gently. There is a soft wind, and you know. So this west wind, Zephyrus, it is personified, and that's why the word breathing is used here. So breathing is done by mainly by living creatures or human beings or living creatures. So Zephyrus is personified, and here Zephyrus is described as breathing very sweetly. It is not it is not that like it is not rough at all, but it is very sweet. Sweet means maybe it is carrying some fragrance with it. So sweet breathing means the fragrance that the west wind is carrying is very sweet, nice fragrance we can see. So because of this air, nice fragrance is filled in the air, and the air is shaking very gently, moving very gently. So, and again, the poet says that, or the speaker says that, a gentle spirit, so Cyprus is a gentle spirit that lightly did delay hot Titan's beams. Titan's beams, nothing but hot beams of the sun. Okay, hot beams. Who is giving hot beams during the daytime? It is the sun. So, Titan's beams means sun's beams, and hot Titan's beams with hot sun rays of the sun, or hot rays of the sun. So, because of this simple trembling breeze and the fragrant filled cypress that is playing very softly and gently in the air, because of that, the hot beams, the hotness of the rays of the sun is little lighted. Okay, little lightly it is going on. So it's not that the sun is, even though it is bright and it is pouring out all these kind of hot beams over the earth, but still it is gentle because of this cypress, because of the cypress wind. So Titan is the name of or mythical name to sun god. Okay, and we can see that which then did glister fair, and it is bright, and the sun is bright and very it is very bright and it is hot, but still uh, because of Cyprus, because of this gentle breeze, it is now gentle, and it is not affecting, these hot beams are not affecting us because of this gentle air. When I, whose sullen care means sad and worried state. When whose sullen care. So now I refer to the speaker, maybe Edmund Spenser himself, but still the speaker is referring to himself or herself and says that when I, whose sullen care. So I just, when I am standing here, when I am here, I just think of something that is sad and something that is worried me, and through discontent of my long fruitless stay in Princess's court and expectation vain of idle hopes, which still do fly away like empty shadows, did afflict my brain. So he says that what is worrying me? What is sad thing that I am remembering here. That is, I was so dissatisfied. Discontent means dissatisfied of my long fruitless stay in Princess's Court. So I was in the Princess's Court vainly, with vain hopes, without any expectations. And I had expectations, but nothing happened up to my expectations. I fruitlessly, without any particular result that I was expecting. So I was discontent. I was dissatisfied with my long, vain, fruitless stay in Princess's Court and expectation vain of idle hopes. So I had expectations, but nothing happened according to my hopes, which still do fly away like empty shadows. So all that hopes and expectations are like empty shadows, just vanished, just fly away, just like that. Because all were empty. All my expectations I had hopes, and because my stay with the prince or my stay in the princess's court was vain. It was fruitless. It actually provided me nothing according to my expectations, and I had very idle hopes, but all those hopes and expectations just flew away like empty shadows. And this thought that I wasted my time, my expectations there, I am discontent, and my dissatisfaction actually afflict means affect my brain. I am thinking about it, and I am little disturbed because of this thought. So I hope this was clear. And moving on in first stanza itself, walked forth to ease my pain along the shores of silver streaming Thames, whose rutty bank, the which his river hems, was painted all with variable flowers, and all the meads adorned with dainty gems, fitted to deck maidens' bowers, and crown their paramours. Against the brighter day, which is not long, sweet Thames run softly till I end my song. So, in order to ease my pain, see, I am afflicted, and my brain is affected, and I am disturbed about the thoughts of my vain expectations when I spend my days spent in Princess's Court. So, I decided to walk forth to ease my pain. So, I just wanted to go for a walk in order to ease my pain, in order to reduce my pain, my dissatisfaction. I just wanted to get distracted and walk forth to ease my pain and to get some comfortableness. And where I'm walking, I'm going to walk along the shore of silver streaming Thames. So Thames is a famous river there, and silver streaming means it actually explains the beauty of Thames. The water flowing, they are like glistering silver. It is silver colored. It's like it's so sparkling, and it is shining the terms, and shows its purity and beauty. And the speaker decided to walk along the shores of silver streaming Thames, whose rutty bank means rooty bank. Rooty bank means, there are on the bank of the river there are a you know lot of plants are there, weeds, plants are there, so that's why the bank becomes rooty. So whose rooty bank, the which the his river hems. And it is river hems means, what is hem of suppose the hem of the dress means where the edge of the lower edge of the dress is known as hem, right? So rutty bank, whose rutty bank, the which his river hems, was painted all with variable flowers means everywhere on the bank, especially in the place where the bank meets the river, that place it's rooty bank. And it is rooted, everywhere you can find root, because everywhere you can find weeds and plants and lot of flowers. So it's like the bank is painted, the river bank is painted with all variable of flowers, like different kind of beautiful flowers are there. Because of the color of the flowers, beautiful colors of the flowers, it is like the bank is painted with all kind of these flower colors. Okay, see how Edmund Spenser is painting in our mind the beautiful scenery of the bank, and how it is colored with the various kinds of flowers and the colors of the flowers. Okay, and all the meads adorned with dainty gems. Dainty gems means what? Beautiful and precious gems. Okay, dainty gems means beautiful and precious gems. So meads means meadows. Okay, all the meads adorned with the dainty gems means, see, not only the flowers are there, but beautiful gems, beautiful and precious gems are there. So this bank is heavenly. It is described as heavenly with lots of flowers, different kinds of flowers. So simply because there are lots of flowers, it the fragrance of this, of this bank, the place will be wonderful, right? So just imagine. And not only flowers are there, but it is adorned with dainty, very beautiful and precious gems too. And these flowers and gems, they are fitted to deck maidens as bowers. Bowers means chambers or rooms. So maidens means, beautiful young women's bowers. So these flowers, even though they are just there in the wilderness, nobody actually has taken care of any of these flowers and gems, but still they are so beautiful and filled with fragrance, and they are so variety in number. They are fit to decorate. Deck means decorate. Maidens' bowers, the young women's, uh, you know, rooms and chambers, and crown their paramours. So even these flowers and gems, they are fit to decorate the young woman's bowers, as well as crown, make a crown out of them and use them on their paramours. Paramours means lovers. So they are so beautiful. These flowers, even though they are wild flowers, they are so beautiful and they are fitted to this kind of decorations. So when their bridal day, against their bridal day, when their bridal day arrives, which is not so long, and in that day, it is these flowers are very fit to decorate their bowers as well as crown their paramours. And he says, sweet thames run softly till I end my song. This is the refrain of the poem, and he says that, referring, calling sweet thames, calling this river as sweet thames run softly till I end my song. See, I am walking along your shore and I am just singing a song, an actual song. So you have to run softly. As the day is also come, you have to also run softly till I end my song. Okay, so I think stanza 1 is clear. If you have any doubts, you can obviously comment that in the comment section. And moving on, stanza 2nd. And there in a meadow, by the river's side, a flock of nymphs I chanced to espy, all lovely daughters of the flood thereby, with goodly greenish locks, all loosed and tied, as each has been a bride, and each one had a little wicker basket made of fine twigs, entrailed curiously, in which they gathered flowers to fill their flasket, and with fine fingers cropped full fitiously the tender stalks on high. Okay, so now we know that the speaker is on the bank of the river and he is walking, and there in a meadow. So as he was telling all about this beauty of the bank, he suddenly saw something. Watch. So there in a meadow by the riverside. So in that meadow, on that bank, the bank is full of flowers, so that's why it's a meadow. And by that riverside, a flock of nymphs. So who are nymphs? The flock of nymphs means, flock means a group of nymphs. Nymphs are supernatural maidens living in seas, rivers, woods, and in life. They are supernatural, beautiful women, nymphs. So just imagine supernatural, they have some supernatural qualities, and they are basically mythical characters, and we can only find them in myths and all. So nymphs are super beautiful, and they are believed to, mythically they are believed to be in, can be found in seas, rivers, woods, forest and all, and they are extremely beautiful, and they have greenish locks. Locks means their hair. Their hair is greenish in color, green in color. So there are these are some features of nymphs, and nymphs are supernatural maidens, beautiful women with some supernatural qualities. So just imagine that. So suddenly what the speaker saw a flock of nymphs, a group of nymphs, a chance to espy. A chance to espy means I happened to see. Okay, so as I was walking and enjoying the beauty of the meadow by the riverside, I saw a flock of nymphs, a supernatural maidens, and a chance to see them. All lovely daughters of the flood thereby. So they are the daughters of the flood thereby means the river is there. Flood refers to the river. Okay, so they are the lovely daughters, beautiful daughters of the flood thereby. So they just live by that river, and they are lovely daughters of the flood thereby. Flood means river, and with goodly greenish locks. So they have very beautiful greenish locks. So they are there with greenish locks. But the mythical characters, they obviously possess the greenish locks, green hair on their head, and all loose tied. So these green hair that they have on their head, they are not tied, not very closely tied, not very hard tied, but they are loosely tied. No, just imagine greenish locks, beautiful nymphs, supernatural maidens. They have greenish locks, greenish hair, and all those hair are, you know, untied, loosely tied, and as each had been a bride, so they are so beautiful, like they themselves, each one of them are just like a bride. So just like a bride, usually women will be very beautiful and very taken care of their beauty in their bridal day, right? Usually it's like that. So uh, it's like these lovely daughters of the river or the nymphs with their greenish lock which are untied, and by their appearance itself we can see that they are as beautiful as a bride in her bridal day. And each one had a little wicker basket. So each one of them, they are not barehanded, they have something in their hand. What is it? It's a wicker basket. It's a basket. Okay, it's a small kind of basket made of fine twigs entrailed curiously. So these baskets are made of fine twigs. Twigs means very slender branches of the tree that that are known as twigs, right? So these baskets, these wicker small basket that they hold, that baskets are made of fine, very slender, very delicate twigs, and these twigs are entrailed to make this basket very curiously. So very beautifully, these twigs are entrailed and made this basket, and such baskets are held by each one of these nymphs. Okay, I think that you can imagine a group of nymphs on the bank of the river Thames, and they are holding they are having a basket, and baskets are made of fine twigs, and they have greenish locks, and all are untied these greenish lock, and they are very beautiful. So just imagine that. And in that basket, why they are having that basket anyway? So in which they gather flowers to fill their basket. So what is the purpose of having that basket? So in that basket, they are actually gathering flowers to fill their basket. So they are actually there. They are the daughters of the flood, the river, and also they are very beautiful. And they have a basket with them, and they are there with the basket in order to gather the flowers. How they are gathering? Next line is there. And with fine fingers cropped full fitiously and tender stalks on high. So they are actually that means fitiously means very beautifully only. So they have very fine fingers. Their fingertips are very beautiful. Their fingers also are also very beautiful. The manner in which they are plucking these flowers, gathering these flowers by by just taking these tender stalks of the flowers, the plant in between their fingers. So they are doing it very charmingly and mannersfully they are doing. So it's a uh, fine frame to look at. The way they were gathering the flowers with their fine fingers, they are just gathering it in a charming way by just breaking the tender stalks on high. So he is actually giving a portrayal of nymphs, a flock of nymphs, beautiful with greenish locks and tied. and they are having a basket, and they are plucking beautifully, charmingly. They are gathering flowers from that meadow. So just imagine that. Now, of every sort which in that meadow grew, they gathered some, the violet pallid blue. So uh, he says that, of every sort. So there are a lot of kind of flowers are there. There are different kinds of flowers are there. So they are gathering every other sort of flowers. These nymphs are anyway, they are gathering flowers. They are not particularly picking only one or two kind of flowers, but of every other kind of flowers that they could find, the beautiful flowers that they have there, they are gathering it. Of every other sort of flowers they are having, they are gathering, and which in that meadow grew. So the flowers that they could find in that meadow, that they are growing in that meadow, they actually plucked it, and they gathered some, the violet pallid blue, the little daisy that at evening closes, the virgin lily and the primrose true, with a store of vermeil roses to deck their bridegroom's posies against the bridal day, which was not long. Sweet themes run softly till I end my song. So now he describes what were kind of these what were kind of flowers these nymphs gathered. So these nymphs, they were quickly and skillfully, charmfully, they were plucking all kind of flowers. So first they, they gathered. It's not first, but they gathered. They gathered some. The violet pallid blue means they uh, gathered some blue violets. So including blue violets and also daisies. They gathered some daisy flowers. So which closes at night means that at evening closes means which closes, which will fade. No, daisies are so beautiful, but they are short lived, and they closes at evening means they will die or fade away in the evening, or they will just lose its charm by evening. And the virgin lily means so pure white colored lily they also gathered, and the primrose true. So they also gathered another flower known as primrose and store of vermeil roses. So vermeil means the color. So such beautiful colored red colored roses. And all these flowers they gathered, they could decorate. Deck means decorate their bridegrooms' poses. So they could decorate their bridegroom on their wedding day using these flowers against the bridal day, which was not so long. So they collected all these flowers which they can use to decorate their bridegrooms, and in their bridegroom's bridal day, and that day is not long, and sweet themes run softly till I end my song. See, this is the 18th line, it's a refrain. See, and stanza 3 is here. I hope stanza 1 and 2nd was clear enough. I have gone little bit fast because otherwise this is going to be very very long video. So obviously if you want more explanation, you can use either of the platforms. You can come to my website, or you can use the number given in the screen, or you can mail me. So mail address will be given in the last. So you can use either of these methods to reach out to me. I'll give further explanations. I'll be very glad to do that. Okay, stanza 3. With that I saw two swans of goodly hue come softly swimming down along the lea. So now, first of all, when the poem begins, he was alone. He was walking along the shores of the river. Suddenly, he saw a group of nymphs gathering the flowers. And now, what he saw two swans. See, remember Coleridge's swan-like movement? So swans will be from here. Swans will be there in every other stanza and every other line. Okay. With that, I saw two swans of goodly hue. So as I was seeing these nymphs were gathering flowers of different kind of flowers they were gathering, and as I was watching that, I also saw two swans of goodly hue. Goodly hue means very beautiful colored. Colored means they were not having different colors, but very pure colored. That means white. Goodly hue means white colored. Superbly charming and gorgeous swans I saw come softly swimming down along the lake. So they were actually softly and swan-like movement without any efforts, without any hurry, without any friction. They are softly swimming down along the Lee. See, River Lee. So Lee here is River Lee. River Lee is a tributary of the River Thames. Okay, finally it will rejoin Thames. So they are actually swimming down. These two swans, they were swimming down along River Lee. Two fairer birds I yet did never see. Now Spenser starts to explain the beauty of these two fair birds. So he addresses these two birds as fairer. They are not even fair, but fairer, the most fair birds I yet did never see. So he says that such two beautiful swans I have never seen ever before in my life. The snow which doth the top of Pindus Tree did never whiter shew, nor Jove himself, when he a swan would be, for love of Leda, whiter did appear. Yet Leda was, they say, as white as he, yet not so white as these, nor thing near. So he is actually making a very huge comparisons here. Like he is making 2 3 comparisons about the white color, the white pure color goodly hue of these two swans. Okay, let's see that comparisons. So the first he talks about the Pindus Mountain. Okay, the storm, sorry, the snow which doth the top of Pindus Tree did never white your shoe. So what does that mean? So it usually believes that Pindus is a mountain range, and Pindus, at the top of the mountain range Pindus, everybody says that it has the most white colored snow there, most pure, most less polluted, less touched, or less very pure kind of white colored snow is there at the top of Pindus mountain range. So Edmund Spenser says that, see, the snow, if you compare the snow color, this color of the snow of the Pindus mountain range that we could see at the top of the mountain range, that snow, if you compare with these two fair birds color, white color, then the snow will get degraded, because the snow is less whiter than the bird's white color. So see, it is that white color. It is quite away from any kind of impurities. Like the more pure, more whiter than Pindus mountain range snow that they could find at the top of the mountain range. Okay, so that's the first comparison that he makes. Then he says that Jove himself, who is Jove? Jove is Jupiter, God Jupiter, CS Jupiter or CS. So we know that he is known as god of gods. Okay, Jove or Jupiter or Zeus, he was the god of gods, so he is a mythical god. And Jove himself, we know that Jove appeared before Leda in the form of a big swan, as attracted towards her. And Leda himself is she is a very beautiful woman. So Jove himself, when a swan would be, for love of Leda, whiter did appear. So he says that. So let's see the second comparison. So he alludes to another mythical story of Joe and Leda. And Joe himself, when he appeared before Leda, for because of the love for Leda, in the form of a big white swan, he was not as white as these two fairer birds. So that is the second comparison. So he was less whiter than these two fair birds that they were softly swimming down the river Lee. So that's the second comparison. Now he says that yet Leda was, they say, as white as he. So Leda, even though she was not a goddess and all, but Leda herself was so beautiful. That's why she could attract God Jupiter, right? So Leda, everybody believes that Leda was, even she was so beautiful and she was so pure and white, and you know equal with Jove, equal with Jupiter, she was also not less beautiful than him. So when we compare Leda to these fair birds, these two swans, we can say that these two swans, they far excellent in their purity and yet not so white as these. Leda, even though Joe appeared before Leda because of her beauty, for her love and all, in the form of a big giant beautiful swan, neither he nor Leda was more whiter than these two fair birds, and nothing near. So they are not like, they are better than these two people, these Joe and Leda, but it's like these Joe and Leda, even though they are gods and beautiful women, but they are nothing near to these two swans. In comparison of their white color or purity, the great hue that they have nothing in common, because these two swans, they are far, far, far more excellent than Leda and Jove. Okay, so moving on. So from here we can see that whatever ways Edmund Spenser is explaining about these two swans beauty, how far he's going in explaining and comparing their beauty, and we can see all those. So moving on in stanza 3, so purely white they were, that even the gentle stream, the which they bare, seemed foul to them, and bade his billows bare, to wet their silken feathers, lest they might soil their fair plumes with the water not so fair. So what happens here? So the narrator saw the beautiful swans, and he started to sing about them, the beauty of these two swans, and he compared them with the snow that we could find at the top of the mountain, Mount Pindar, right? Mount Pindus, that we could see at the top of Mount Pindus, and he compared the beauty to these two swans, beauty to Leda and Joe and Leda. And also now he says that, see, these two swans, they were so pure, they were so white, and they were so pure that even the gentle stream, even the calm and quiet running gentle stream, and the water of that stream, so the water in that stream bear them, so they are floating on the surface of the stream. So this gentle water of the stream seemed foul to them, seemed less pure, seemed less fair when we compare the purity of these white swans, and bade his billows spare. So his means rivers. Okay, rivers, river apostrophe s. So he means the river said to its waves that you have to be very gentle, and you should not touch the silken feathers of these swans. You should not make the silken feathers and their plumes wet. Why? Because they might soil their fair plumes. So plumes with water not so fair. Comparing to these swans, the water in the river is dirty or less fair. So you should not touch them and make them less fair with your less fair water. They are so pure, so you have to be very careful not to make them wet by your less fair water, because and mar their beauties bright, that shone as heaven's light. Heaven's light means sun, as you and sun. Okay, so they are so beautiful, they shine, they are bright like sun, and by touching with your dirty water, these waves should not make these silken feathers of the swans wet, because that will mar, that will destroy, that will in a way reduce their beauty, which is shining as heaven's light. That means as they are shining as sun itself, because they have to be beautiful, because their bridal day is soon to come. Against their bridal day, which was not long, sweet themes run softly till I end my song. So their bridal day is about to arrive, so they have to be more beautiful and pure. So you should not touch and make them dirty with your less fair water. Okay, and sweet themes. Gentle thames, sweet thames, run gently and calmly and softly, quietly, so that I could finish this song. Until I finish this song, you have to run softly. Now, moving on, stanza 4. Eftsoons the nymphs, which now had flowers their fill, ran all in haste to see that silver brood, as they came floating on the crystal flood, whom when they saw, they stood amazed still, their wondering eyes to fill. Them seemed they never saw a sight so fair. So what happens now that the narrator is already seen these two beautiful swans? So soon after, so as soon as the narrator saw these two swans, these nymphs also saw them, and now they gathered all the flowers in their basket, and their baskets are filled with flowers. They ran in haste, hurriedly, in a hasty manner. They ran. Why they ran? They ran to see this silver brood. Silver brood means silver, bright and beautiful, pure white birds. So as they came floating on the crystal flood means sparkling, so beautiful water of the river. So as they were floating on the surface of the river, on the water surface of the river, these nymphs who were gathering flowers and filling their basket with all these beautiful flowers, they ran in haste as they happened to see, in order to see this silver brood, these silver, sparkling and beautiful, pure birds, swans, whom when they saw, they stood amazed still, their wondering eyes to fill. So what happens when they saw the two birds? When these nymphs, the nymphs themselves, they were so beautiful, and they are themselves seemed like a bride, and they are so beautiful. So these are wondrous creatures, I mean mythical or supernatural creatures. So when they saw these two swans, they wonderstruck. They stood amazed. They were like statues. After seeing them, they could not move. They stood still, and they wondered. Their eyes were wide with wonder, and their eyes are filled with this wondrous sight. They seemed they never saw a sight so fair. Just like the narrator, when the nymphs saw these swans, they also thought that, so they thought that then they have never seen such a beautiful sight before in their life. Okay, such a fair sight they have never seen before. Or fowls so lovely. Fowls means birds. Okay, fowls. So fowls, such beautiful fowls they have not seen ever in their life before, that they were sure did deem them heavenly born, and they were wonderstruck in such a way, and they are looking at the birds in such a way that they thought that they are heavenly, they are coming heavenly, surely from heaven. So they thought that they are surely deemed, they are surely coming from heaven, or they are born out of heaven. They belong to heaven, that's for sure, by seeing them. To be that same pair which through the sky drove Venus's silver steam. And they also thought that maybe they are surely heavenly born, and they are the chariot drawers of Venus. So Venus is the goddess love, goddess of love. So Venus has a chariot. Chariot is drawn by two beautiful swans. So these two swans must be those swans who draw Venus's chariot through the sky. Okay, so it is a mythical allusion that he again brings here. So maybe they are born out of heaven, they are heavenly creatures, or they are the same pair of swans who drove Venus's chariot through the sky. So they belong to Venus. So either of this is possible, but surely they are not originated from earth. So here comes that point. For sure, they did not seem to be begot of any earthly seed, but rather angels, or of angels' breed. See, they must be heavenly born, or they belong to Venus. Otherwise, there is no chance that these two beautiful swans, they got originated, they got begotten by some of the, or any of the earthly seeds. It is very hard to believe that by seeing them that they are originated in earth. They are not earthly creatures. They are surely angels or angels breed. They are angels. They are some kind of angels. They belong to some category of angels. So they are breed. They are a kind of breed of angels. Yet were they bred of summer's heat, they say, and sweetest season, when each flower and weed the earth did fresh array. So fresh they seemed as day, even as their bridal day, which was not long. Sweet themes run softly till I end my song. So yet this bread of summer's heat, they say. So they means everybody else, people. Okay. So everybody, the people believe that, usually we believe that swans took their birth in the warmth of the summer. So they are the daughters of the warmth of the summer. They usually took their birth in the warmth of the summer. Okay, usually it is believed that. But by seeing these swans, it's very hard to believe that they took their birth in the earth, but they seem like they are angels or some breed of angels. And again he says that they are fresh as a day. They are fresh as a spring day. Okay, in the sweetest season. Sweetest season means spring. So the sweetest season or most beautiful season on earth is spring. So he says that just like we have in sweetest season, that is the spring season, when every flower will blossom, when every weed will germinate on this earth, and it will create a long and fresh array of flowers and weeds on this earth in this spring season, and earth will be fresh and young and beautiful. Just like that, these swans are fresh as a day. So fresh they seemed as day. So just like a spring season day, where flowers will be there, weeds will be there, earth will be fresh. So same as that, these swans are also fresh, seemed as a day. They are fresh as a spring day. Just like in their bridal day, just like they must be fresh like a spring season's day in their bridal day, which is not so long. So they have to be very fresh, and they are fresh just as in their bridal day, which is not so long. And to sweet themes run softly till I end my song. Now stanza 5. We have 5 more stanzas to go. Then forth they all out for their baskets drew great store of flowers, the order of the field, that to the sense did fragrant odors yield, which all which upon then forth they all out of their baskets drew great store of flowers, the honor of the field, that to the sense did fragrant odors yield, all which upon those goodly birds they threw, and all the waves did strew, that like old Pindus waters they did sin. So what is there? So these nymphs were watching the swimming swans in wondrous eyes, and they are thinking that these are heavenly creatures, and these are beautiful. They were wonderstruck by seeing the beauty of and purity of what? Purity of these swans. So what they did do? They took a great store of flowers from their basket. So their baskets are full of flowers. So they drew a great store of flowers. Flowers are the honor of the field. Okay, so they gathered this from the field, and they filled a great fragrance, a great smell, a good smell in the atmosphere, in the ambience. So they drew a great store of flowers from their basket, and they threw these flowers upon these beautiful swans as they were swimming. So they actually put all these flowers threw these flowers upon the floating, swimming, beautiful swans. And the flowers fall upon the water and the waves around them. And while the water carried all these flowers around the swans, the river seemed like old Pindus. So Pindus is a river that we could find in Greece. Okay, Pindus is a river that we could find in Greece. Pindus belongs to Greece. So it's like old Pindus, as all the flowers were floating along with the swans on the surface of the water of the river. It looked like the old Pindus water. They did seem when down along by pleasant Tempe's shore. So the Pindus actually flows through Tempe while Penwas was flowing along the shores of Tempe, scattered with flowers. So the Tempe shore, just like Thames has flowers along with its shores. Tempe also had flowers and beautiful trees bearing beautiful flowers in them, and on the surface of the river Penwas, lot of flowers scattered usually. So same like that we could see here, and this river Penwas through flows through Thessaly, the stream. So so Thessaly is a valley. So Penwas, we can find it belongs to Greece. Penwas belongs to Greece, and it flows through Tempest shore in Thessaly Valley. So just like that, it will be full of scattered flowers upon the surface of the river. So same like that, when the nymphs threw all the flowers out of their basket upon the swans, the water surface was filled with flowers, and it looked like Penwas, which was flowing through the shore of Tempe in the valley Thessaly. That they appear through Lily's plenteous store like a bride's chamber floor. So we can see that flowers, lilies were there always. Plenteous store means plenty of lilies. Lily flower appeared on the surface of the water, and it was like a decorated bride chamber's floor. Bride's chamber floor, just like a bride's chamber floor in the wedding day, how it will get decorated with flowers. Just like that, with lilies, plenty of lily flowers, the water surface was also decorated like that. It was seemed like that. Moving on in stanza 5. Two of those nymphs, meanwhile, two garlands bound of freshest flowers, which in that mead they found, the which presenting all in trim array, their snowy foreheads therewithal they crowned, whilst one did sing this lay. So what happens? So while they were throwing all these flowers upon them, two nymphs. So among them, two nymphs, they prepared two garlands, two flower crowns, okay, with the fresh flowers that they could find from that mead. So they collected fresh flowers from the mead, and they made two garlands, two flower crowns out of them, and they presenting all in trim array. Trim array means very perfectly, clearly measured and beautifully created. They perfectly made them, and they presented them perfectly made, and these snowy foreheads of the swans were crowned with these two flower crowns, flower garlands. Their snowy forehead means swans. So after making these garlands, these two nymphs goes, and these nymphs put these two garlands upon the snowy foreheads of these two swans. Okay, these two swans were crowned with the garlands. Whilst one did sing this lay, whilst means while they were crowning them, while the nymphs were crowning these swans, one did means one nymph did sing this lay, did sing this song. So while they crowning them, they not everyone, only one nymph started to sing a song, and they prepared against that day, against their bridal day, which was not long. So they prepared, these nymphs prepared this song in order to sing in the swan's bridal day, and a bridal day is not so long. So this particular song, which was sung by this particular one nymph, this song was prepared by them in order to sing it in their bridal day, in this swan's bridal day, and the bridal day is not so long. Sweet Thames, run softly till I end my song. Next. stanza 6. So this is the song. So the stanza 6 is the song sung by the nymph. Ye gentle birds, the world's fair ornament and heavenly glory. So you gentle birds, who are world's fair ornament, means world's fair creatures, world's most beautiful creatures, and heavenly glory, and heaven's glory, heaven's pride. So you beautiful, yeah, means you beautiful gentle birds, who are worlds, this world's beautiful ornaments and heaven's glory, whom this happy hour doth load unto your lover's blissful bower. Bower means room. So you must be very happy. So you will have a very happy hour because you are going to lead to your lover's blissful. Blissful means most happy and most everything is good there. So such a state is blissful, satisfactory, content. So you are going to soon you are going to lead to your blissful lover's blissful bower. So this is an happy hour for you. Again, so after this, the nymph in the song again prays like this: joy may you have and gentle heart's content of your love's compliment. So in your married life, I pray and I hope that in your married life you have all kind of joys and you have satisfaction in your heart. Okay, you may have joy and you may have heart's content, heart satisfaction, a satisfactory mind in your married life. And let fair Venus, that is queen of love, with her heart quelling sun upon you smile, whose smile they say hath virtue to remove all love's dislike and friendship faulty guile forever to assoil. Okay, so after that I also pray that let fair Venus, let the beautiful Venus, who is queen of love, means who is the goddess of love, with her heart quelling sun. So Venus's son, who is Venus's son? Cupid is Venus's son. With her heart quelling sun means Cupid is famous for, Cupid's arrow. If it strikes you, then you will love anybody that you see for the first time after got struck with the arrow. So Venus and her son Cupid, they both smile upon you. I hope and I pray that Venus, goddess of love, and her heart quelling son Cupid have their smile upon you. Why? Because people believe that, they say, means they usually believe and they say that, people say that who smile, Venus and her son smile, that smile has the virtue, has the quality to remove all love's dislike, all the conflicts and all the differences, all the fights and all the arguments and friendships faulty guile. All the conflicts that you are going to have in your married life, all such things will be removed with the virtue of the smile of Venus and her son. So I pray for that. Okay. So further moving on, the nymph sings like this: let endless peace your steadfast heart accord. Again, let your heart may possess, your steadfast heart may possess endless, everlasting peace. Let you have an everlasting peace, that I pray. And blessed plenty wait upon your board. Plenty wait upon your board means, food and everything will be plenty. You will be prosperous. That your kitchen will be filled with food always. You will never starve. You will never wait, for your food to come, because the food will be waiting for you always. That means you will be prosper always. So let your kitchen, let your house filled with enough things or enough food that you may have always. And let your bed with pleasures chase abound. Let your marital bed is chaste, which is, pure, which is away from any kind of impurity, which will be pure and which will be filled with the pleasures. That fruitful issue may to your afford, which may your foes confound and make your joys redound upon your bridal day, which is not long. So he says that, I mean, the nymph sings that, and bliss, nymph sings and hopes and prays for the two swans, two bridal swans, that let your bed be with all kind of marital pleasures, and it is chaste, pure and proper, and also let you have marital fruits, let you have children, plenty of children. Okay, and your children will defeat your foes, enemies. Okay, they will confound your enemies, they will defeat your enemies. And in this bridal day, your joys will be redound. You will have immense joys and pleasures in your bridal day, which is not so long. Sweet themes run softly till I end my song. So there ends the song of the nymphs in stanza 6. And in stanza 7, so ended she. So I have already told you, a particular nymph was singing a song as the nymphs were crowning the swans with the garlands that they have made, and the nymph who was singing ended her song, and all the rest around to her redoubled that her undersong. So what happens, as soon as the nymph stopped singing, all around her, everyone around her, every other nymph around her started to sing, repeat the lines again and again, the wishings, the praise. They started to redoubled her undersong, and which said their bridal day should not be long. So what was there in the song? So the song was saying, all these people repeating the song by saying that bridal day, your bridal day, their bridal day, the swans' bridal day, which should not be so long. And gentle echo from the neighbor ground, their accents did resound. Their accents means their lines, the nymphs' line, their songs. These lines were accented in the neighboring ground. In that atmosphere, in that neighboring ground, it echoed. These lines, their accents were echoed. So forth those joyous birds did pass along. So as they were passing, see, these swans, they were not staying. They were passing down. They were floating down the river Lee. And so as they joyous, they were very happy. These birds, after hearing all these songs by the nymphs and all, they were happy. And as they were swimming down the river, they saw that these nymphs are singing, and the ground is actually sounding or echoing with the same lines. And down the Lee means they were floating down the river Lee. That to them murmured low as he would speak. So that to them murmured low. So just like a little murmur that he would speak means, as he would speak means, he means river Lee. So they were floating, they were like swimming down the river Lee. So it's like river Lee that he is going to speak to these two swans, and it's like a murmur that we could hear low, but he could not have any language, as the river Lee has no language, no tongue to possess that, but that he lacked a tongue. That means that the river has no tongue to speak, has no language to speak, but yet did by signs his glad affection show, making his stream run slow. So yet did by signs his glad affection show, making his stream run slow means what? Even though the river possessed no tongue, no language, even though it could make some murmured, it's like it is murmuring low to these swans, it showed its signs, it showed its affection through some gestures, through some signs, like making its stream run slow means making the current of the river less, by reducing the current of the river. So that was a gesture, reducing the current of the river. That was a gesture or a sign shown by the river to show the affection towards the two beautiful and bright swans. And all the fowl in his flood did dwell, gang flock about this train. And all the fowl which in his flood did dwell, gan flock about this twain, that did excel the rest, so far as Cynthia doth shend the lesser stars. So what happened next? So the river reduced its current to show the affection towards these swans. So next, all the fowls means birds, or the birds who are living around the river or living in the river, living depending upon the river, they all gathered, they all flock, they all fly, they all, they all grouped around these two swans. Okay, so all of these birds around them, they came around these swans, and these twain means these two swans that did excel the rest so far. So these two birds, even though all the birds gathered there, all these birds are beautiful only, they are so beautiful, but these two particular swans, these birds, they are like Cynthia means moon. So they are like Cynthia when compared to other lesser stars. Like, in a starry night, we can see that the moon is the brightest one comparing to any other stars in the sky. The same way, these two swans, they are far much excellent and beautiful than any other birds that surrounds them. Just like moon is brighter than any other stars. So they enranged well, did on these two attend, and their best service lend against their wedding day, which was not long. So they enranged well means, so these birds, as they gather around them, they were not simply gathered around them. So they arranged themselves in such a way that around that two swans in order to attend them. So they did came. So they did come in order to attend these two swans and lend their best service to them in their wedding day, against their wedding day. So their wedding day is about to come, which is not so far. So in their wedding day, on their wedding day, these two swans need to be attended and get service from other birds. So that's why all these birds gathered around them and arranged them in such a way to give them their best service in their wedding day. And sweet thames run softly till I end my song. Now, stanza 8. At length they all to merry London came. So with stanza 7, he stops speaking about river Thames, the swans and all. Now he says that in a while everyone come to merry London, okay, for the wedding day. So the wedding day is not so far. So wedding day has arrived. At length they all to merry London came. So in a while, after not so long, every one of them, swam, nymph, all these birds, everyone, they represent people, right? So all of them, they come to merry London. To merry London, my most kindly nurse, and that to me gave this life's first native source. Though from another place I take my name, an house of ancient fame. Okay, so they came to merry London, where I took my birth and I got raised. So my most kindly nurse means, as it was like a kind nurse to me, because I took birth here. That to me gave this life's first native source. As I have raised here, London gave me my first native source, life's first native source. Though from another place I take my names, even though I got my name from a different place and a house of ancient fame and an ancient family, even though from a different place and from a different ancient family of famous ancient family, I got my name. Even then, I was born and raised in London. So London is so near to me. It's like a most kindly nurse to the speaker or Edmund Spenser himself. There when they came, whereas those bricky towers, the which on Thames's broad aged back to dried, where now the studious lawyers have their bowers, there whilom warned the Templar knights to bide, till they decayed through pride. So now he is explaining, he is describing about the history of the place that they have come in London. So they have come to London. In London itself, they have come to a particular place where you can find bricky towers or towers made up of bricks on the banks of the river Thames. Okay, so they have come to a place where you can find bricky towers, and that is situated on the bank of the river Thames. You know, if you can see now, these bricky towers, they are residence to studious lawyers. We can find that these bricky towers now it is providing, these bricky towers are providing housings for law students. Their bowers, their residence, their rooms you can find in that bricky towers. But once in past, it was the headquarters of Templar Knights. Okay, so where Willem warned the Templar Knights to bide means now you cannot find any Templar Knights now there, because earlier it was the headquarters of Templar Knights till they decayed through pride. So because of their pride, until they decayed or they were erased from that place out of their pride, until that time, till that time it was that bricky towers were headquarters of Templar Knights. But now it is bowers or rooms or residence of studious law students. Next whereon to there stands a stately place. So next to that bricky towers. So he first said about bricky towers. Now he says a stately place, a stately building that is next to these bricky towers. So next to that bricky towers, there stands a stately place. There you can see a stately place where often gained gifts and goodly grace of that great Lord, which therein wont to dwell, whose want too well now feels my friendless case. He says that next to that bricky towers, there is a stately place. There is a stately place that is there now also. From there once lived a great lord. Of that great lord, so in that stately place there once lived a great lord. Now he is not there, which therein wont to dwell. So now he is not there, but once lived a great lord, and from him the narrator or the speaker or Edmund Spenser himself received many or gained many gifts, favors and grace, whose want too well now feel my friendless case. Now I am lonely. Now I have no friends to depend upon. So now I really miss that person from whom I gained gifts and favors immensely, who resided in that stately place once. Okay, but here fits not well old woes. So suddenly he remembers that, see, I miss that person, but telling about old sorrows and sad memories is not a fitting situation now. Why? Because we are talking about bridal day, we are talking about marriages going to happen. So this is not a fitting situation to memorize and miss such a person and think about my old sorrows, but joys to tell against the bridal day. So only the only fitting thing that you have to memorize and tell in such a situation is that you have to memorize only joyful things in this bridal day, because this is a bridal day, marriage day. Because of that, missing someone and old sorrows and sadness, that kind of things are not fit in this situation. Only joyful things must be remembered in the bridal day, and the bridal day is not so long, and sweet themes run softly till I end my song. Now comes Stanza 9, the penultimate stanza, stanza 9. Yet therein now doth lodge a noble peer. So in that stately place, now my dear one is not there. My great Lord who lent me so much favor and grace, that person is not there. I miss him. But still, there lived, there lives a noble peer. Just as this great Lord that I was referring, just as him, a noble peer, noble equal person is living, lodging in that particular, dwelling in that particular stately place. Great England's glory. So he is England's glory. Okay, this noble person, he is England's glory and the world's wide wonder. Everybody respects him and his name is all over the world, and because of his deeds, glorious actions, the world is wonderstruck because of that. So he is famous throughout the world, and whose dreadful name laid through all Spain did thunder, and Hercules' two pillars standing near did make to quack and fear. So what happens? He is England's glory. That noble peer, now noble person, Lord is England's glory, and the world's wonder, world's wide wonder. He is famous throughout the world, and whose dreadful name, his name is so terrorizing through Spain. So you have to remember defeat of Spanish Armada here. Okay, Spanish Armada happened in Elizabethan age, so that actually brought so much glory to England and promoted nationalism throughout the country. So whose dreadful name means these noble persons terrorizing. This noble person's name is a terrorizing name throughout Spain like a thunder. Like a thunder, people of Spain or Spain itself get terrorized by hearing his name. And even Hercules' two pillars are there. So Hercules' pillars are famous, and Hercules' pillars, it will tremble, it will quack, it will quack and fear. In fear, out of fear, because of the name of this noble Lord, who is glory of England, out of fear for him, Hercules' two pillar will quack. And he is a fair branch of honor. Fair branch of honor means he is an honorable man. He is a man of honor. And flower of chivalry, he is a fine knight. He is a respectful knight. Chivalry means knights will have so much chivalrous manners, and also flower of chivalry means he is a perfect and a respectful knight that fillest England with thy triumphs fame. So throughout England, about your victory, about your triumph, that news is passing throughout England. That is a great news in England, and everyone has heard about your story because it is traveling throughout England all this time. Joy have thou of thy noble victory. I hope that you will be immense. You will be in immense pleasure. You will have all the joy when you think about your victory, and endless happiness of thy own name, because you earned your name like England's glory and world's wide wonder. Because of your own name, you will have endless happiness in your heart. I hope that promises the same. So your name that brings happiness to you in your heart, that same name promises something. That promises what? That we'll see next. That through thy prowess and victorious arms, thy country may be freed from foreign harms. So through thy prowess means through your powers, through your victorious arms. You have a very powerful, strong arms which brings victory. So such an arm is there to protect your country. Thy country may be freed from foreign harms. Any other kind of attack from foreign lands, foreign people is not possible here, because your power, your victorious arms are there in order to protect your country and free from any other fear of foreign invasion or foreign attacks over England. And great Eliza's glorious name may ring through all the world. Eliza means Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth was the monarch of the time that we all know. And great Eliza's glorious name. Elizabeth's glorious name as a monarch of the country who nourishes all these kind of people. So great Queen's name, Queen Elizabeth's name will be celebrated because of you. World will know about Queen Elizabeth and her name will be gloriously celebrated throughout the world. And filled with thy wide alarms, which some brave muse may sing to ages following. So about your great bravery, about thy wide alarms means about your wide victories and the missions that you have participated, about all those courageous deeds that you do. About all those things, some brave muse, some brave poet will create a song, a poetry, so that the coming generation to know about you and sing about you and celebrate about you, so that the coming ages to know about you. So just like I'm singing this in this bridal day, mentioning and remembering about you in this bridal day, some brave muse will write poetry or song about your brave actions, and the ages will following this age will sing that song of your great deeds. And sweet themes and softly till I end my song. And now we have arrived the last stanza, stanza 10. From those high towers, this noble lord is issuing. So from that high tower, a noble lord is coming. Issuing means coming down. A noble lord is coming like radiant Hesper. So now he is explaining and metaphorically, telling about the appearance of that noble lord. So from that high tower, it is coming. The noble lord is coming, and he is bright, radiant, like Hesper. Hesper is evening star. Okay, Hesper is the name given to evening star. When his golden hair in the ocean billows, he hath bathed fair, descended to the river's open viewing, with a great train ensuing. So what happens? So this noble lord, he is bright as a Hesper. So Hesper with his golden hair. So just like Hesper, the evening star, with its golden hair, bathed all day through the ocean, and in the evening, after its bath, it raised from the ocean, from that river, and it is sparkled, it is radiant with all these brightness that it possesses. Just like that, this noble lord is issuing, coming from this high tower. Okay. And descended to the river's open viewing means that this great lord, radiant and bright, comes down to the river Thames bank, and with a great train ensuing means a great number of people following him. So a great number of people are around him, and he come down to the riverside. Above the rest were goodly to be seen two gentle knights of lovely face and feature, beseeming well the bower of any queen. So a group of people are there, and the noble lord also came down to the river, and a group of people are there, and two knights, two gentle knights, they stood out. They were so beautiful, they have so lovely face, and their features are great. So because of that, because of their wit, intelligence, and their look, they stood out of the rest of these people who are gathering around them, and beseeming well in the bower of any queen. So these two knights, they are well fit to any other queen in this world. So they are so beautiful, and they are outstandingly so great looking, and they seem like they are fit to any other queen. They have the gift of wit and ornaments of nature. So they are gifted with natural intelligence that they have with them, and they know well good manners. and fit for so goodly stature. So they are good to any other stature. They are good. They are beautifully fitting. They are greatly fitting to any other stature because of their natural gift of beauty and wit and manners. Now, that like the twins of Jove they seemed in sight. Twins of Jove means CS, God of God, and God of gods. CS. Jove means CS. So CS has two sons, twin sons. Who are they? Castor and Pollock. Castor and Pollock are the two twin sons of Jove, CS. So they look like these two knights, gentle knights, beautiful and witty knights. They look like twin sons of Jove, twins Castor and Pollock. They are seemed so bright, which deck the baldric of the heavens bright. See, Castor and Pollock, they are stars, and they form the part of the constellation group known as Gemini. Okay, constellation star group known as Gemini. So they are bright. They seem like heavens bright because they are stars and they are sons of Jove. And they too forth pacing to the riverside. So they are also these two knights. They also came down to riverside. Why they came to the riverside? Came down to the riverside, to receive those two fair birds. So they came down to the riverside in order to receive their brides. These two fair birds mean these two fair swans. They are brides of them and their love's delight. So these two knights, they loved these two birds, these brides, so dearly, which at that appointed tide each one did make his bride. So what will happen next? In an appointed time, these knights will be married to each of these swans, each of these brides in an appointed time. And in their bridal day, so this will happen against their bridal day, which is not long. So the bridal day has arrived, which is not so long, and this in that appointed time they will make each of these swans, so each of these brides, their beautiful wives. And sweet tales run softly till I end my song. So that's all about the 10th stanza of Prothalamion. I hope you have got a great idea about this poem. And if you have any doubts, queries, and any further explanations that you need, or you want me to make any contents related to your MA syllabus or English language and literature as such in general, you can mention all those things in the comment section. And also, if you like the video, you press the like button and share this to other needy people. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and visit my website www.highpoint.in, and you can WhatsApp me or call me or message me in the given number in the screen if you want any further help for your MA studies or for your UGC net things that you are doing. Like, if you want to know where you have to study, what you have to study, you can visit my website. There you will have a free trial, and you can check upon the audios and lessons that we are giving. Then by looking at itself, you can understand which all things you have to learn for your UGC net examination, which are the topics that you have to cover for UGC net examination. If you want any help in this regard, you can call me, WhatsApp me. I will be very glad to help you, or you can mail me in the given mail address. So thank you for watching my video. Do not forget to join the WhatsApp group. Link is there in the description box. And also, thank you for watching my video. Let's meet in the next session. That's all. Bye bye. Thank you.